trophy should be. EA got me in the game now. Read on with the gang now. They're here with a lane now. My home second with a ring now. Legendary on the field. Kind of drip is a skill. This the highest cruiser bill. Ain't nothing to the hill.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Just as we were ready for air, it was the Colts emerging from the locker room to great fanfare here in Indy. They're ready to go as the Colts get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the first carry from Marlon Mack. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him the first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Eason sets to throw it. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
Yeah, the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything, as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise. 2nd down, here's Eason. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find him at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
They'll run on 1st down with Marlon Mack. And he's got this down to the 35. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Good pickup there by Marlon Mack, and he was a 1,000-yard runner in 2019 and has been very consistent in moving the ball for the Colts. Last 2 seasons, at least 8 touchdowns rushing each year.
On 1st down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run here with Mack. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's Eason to throw. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the ground, it's Mack. Mack gets hit, and the ball is free. And this belongs to the Vikings. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. They run again on first down. Cook. And this will be a Vikings first down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
And it's pretty evident when you watch how Minnesota plays, just how important Dalvin Cook is to their offense. 1,000-yard rusher a year before, the first one the Vikings had since Adrian Peterson was dominating their carries. And having Cook in the lineup for the bulk of the season, that made Minnesota exactly what their head coach Mike Zimmer wanted them to be. A much more physical team that complemented their defense.
A run there with Cook not going to accomplish much. Call it no gain. Second down coming up.
Good strong tackle by DeForest Buckner. Remember, the Colts gave up their first-round pick, number 13 overall, to get him from San Francisco, and they certainly think he's worth it.
They'll try to throw now. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, he's trying for Smith-Schuster, but it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 38-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it. It's Mack. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
At the 12-yard line.
On first down, it's Mack. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
7 at the Vikings 9-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. From the gun is Eason. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And now nothing but green ahead of him. He's at the 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many syllables. Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski.
Isaiah Rodgers on the return. The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Off the bootleg, Eason. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Eason going to throw it out of the shotgun. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect. How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one. A good run there by Cook on 1st down, powering his way forward, a gain of 6.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Coming right, this is Cook on the toss play. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Boy, Dalvin Cook just so explosive in the open field. He's not a small guy either, but once he gets those legs churning, look out.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Eason. He'll find Paris Campbell. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Giving back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Throwing is Eason. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Mike Hughes. 20.
They are not ready.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
He's ridiculous.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
They can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Eason. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Play fake, Cousins. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. He will push his way down to about the 14. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the 1st half. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Cousins. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line. And these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot. And they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Fielded in the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire half
looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker, and his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Not the way you envision things to start out the third quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
Eason and the Colts now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He'll start by handing this off to Mack. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Eason on 2nd down. That's pulled in by the rookie from USC, Michael Pittman. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Being chased at Eason gets hit, and the ball pops free. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
That's going to be caught. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. Taken in the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, Indianapolis. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Taken about 7 yards deep and not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First down, Minnesota.
Just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd down now, it's Cook. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give them 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Well, a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 42. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet, the little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all, and a bunch of them go up.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. On 1st down, Jacob Eason looking for Campbell downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Bud Dupree in there to bury him for a loss of 11. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Play action. It's Eason. Eason gets hit, and the ball pops free. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And he fires one incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And here's Rodgers on the return. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Eason. They'll run the screen with Mack. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Eason. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Colts, so they've got the football, but they've got work to do, trailing here as we begin the 4th quarter. 46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got a chance now to put this game away following that last defensive stop and punt. They start the drive with Cook. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 61 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys.
And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for Indy. 46 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
First and 10, Eason. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. But it'll be second down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29. Throwing again. Eason. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So now third and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. They'll look to throw again. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Bud Dupree picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. The Colts unable to convert here on fourth down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8. They'll run with Madison. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Now Cousins. And the third interception thrown by Cousins. Picked off by Anthony Walker. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? The fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a fourth down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Campbell making the catch.
Here we go.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
35-yard line.
From the gun, Eason. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Here's second and 10 now from the 35. To throw again, Eason. The toss is completed to Pittman. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break up their routes quickly as well.
And Cook running on first down, but this defense up to the task there as they stop him before he can even get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 1 officially.
On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Stops shy of the 45 despite some powerful running. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a fourth down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. 42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory.
15-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Daniil Hunter getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Second down, here's Eason. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. Like the way I said that, in his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4.
It's 4th down.
Man, they ain't got a chance, bud. They ain't got a chance.
Today's
Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. Also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Minnesota, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head home next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.